Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. A rare thing on our show, one of our guests is relevant. No, I got a good job by our booker in L.A. And, of course, Mandy helping us out here. A good friend of the show, a good friend of mine. And we appreciate you coming on, Belle Knox, being called the Duke porn star. But your life is really, John was pointing out during the commercial, it's been a whirlwind. I mean, you go on Google, and it's just a blink of an eye.
Yeah,
You're doing all
since November, everything has really changed.
Yeah. How do you feel like when this sort of dies down at your day-to-day life of being a Duke student, which is a full-time job, and doing this? Do you travel for work? Do you still you go to LA or New York to do scenes, or what is your life like work-wise?
Well, honestly, I feel that, and I hope that the worst is over.
Right.
I feel because my family's already been outed. I've already been outed. I've already faced the harassment. I'm hoping that the worst is behind me. And I'm really trying to turn this around into something positive. I have a sex toy line actually coming out with Doc Johnson.
Just by that, you've already started.
Yeah, and I actually was offered this really awesome internship with Pornhub to do. I'm going to be learning about their marketing and their publicity. So
how do we buy your stuff? How do you have something to plug? You have a website? How do we get this stuff?
Well, my sex toy line will be out soon, but you can visit docjohnson.com to learn more about.
Say it again, Doc Johnson.
Doc Johnson.
Doc Johnson.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I'm really just hoping that it all is uphill from here, and I want to keep speaking out, and I want to keep breaking those barriers that separate sex workers from mainstream society.
Well, you're really unselfish. I mean, God bless you. That's great that you're doing it. You're not being, it's not all about you, which a lot of people could. I got to ask though, your family, how is their what was their initial reaction? What about now? Are you both parents alive and around?
Yes. I have a mother and a father.
How do they feel? Initially and now.
My parents, of course, were taken aback by what happened. They were shocked. I wasn't open about my sexuality. They didn't really.
It was a surprise to them.
They didn't really think I was
sexual.
Right. But I was the one who told them because it was out in the news and I wanted to get it out to them.
Oh, that's good. They didn't find out
right
on CNN or something.
That'd be horrible. That was. And then, but now, they're supportive of me and they love me. But, it's an experience. Not having your family or your friends know that you're doing sex work is an experience that a lot of girls have.
Right.
I know so many girls
I'm sure.
and men who their family doesn't know that they do, porn. And it's such an isolating, lonely experience.
I can imagine.
Right.
Do you feel as though it's less lonely now that it's out there, though? I mean, I would think that people are treating you differently and isolating you just the same way now that they know what you're doing.
It's almost a mixed blessing because living that double life was really mentally challenging.
Oh, forget it, yeah.
And now, it's like I can go tell my friend, hey, I'm going to a shoot in Miami, and somebody knows where I am.
That's a good thing.
And I can be open with myself, and I'm not lying to everybody.
Have you lost
that's
friends?
really open.
Have you lost friends?
I have, actually.
Yeah. I hate hearing that.
Yeah, some of my, dearest, closest friends I've had, literally, I had one friend over the weekend tell me that her mom called her asking why she's friends with such a stupid, naive girl.
Oh, God.
And she got mad at me, and she said, you're making me look bad. I don't want to.
Sorry.
Wow. Yeah, I don't want to be friends with somebody who, makes that, who does this.
Those people talk about like a narcissist. Guess what? I don't make decisions in life based on, your situation.
That's what I said to her. I said,
based on you and your mom's relationship.
Well, she's 20 years old and she still lives based off of what her mother said.
I have way less respect for her. I mean, come on. You're going out and doing something.
I just said to her, well, then don't be my friend.
Yeah.
That's all you could do and you move on.
Right.
I feel like the experience has made you really tough. No, that's all I was
No,
gonna
it sounds,
say.
you're right.
There are
Which is a
still
good thing in
times
life.
where I cry, or there are still times where I'm just like, Mandy, I'm like, this is upsetting, But
There's times I cry and I want to call Mandy too, believe me. Everything.
Oh, we know.
What do you say to the people? There are people who took issue with you saying that this is an empowering process because some of the things that you've done, you've been dominated, or it's been less than, you've been taking a, I don't know,
He's done his research.
Submissive role.
Yeah.
You talking about the actual work?
Yeah, and people
Right.
like if you're being dominated, people are saying, how can this be empowering?
Okay, right. So, well, I just want to delineate there's a schism in feminism. Feminism is not a one-size-fits-all movement. You have the camp of the sex-positive feminists who are like me, who think that sex is very empowering for women. And then you have, the sex-negative feminists who think that sex and porn is oppressive to women inherently. And, they all have their own opinions. But so it's not a one-size-fits-all movement. There's different opinions within the movement. And also, I think when people make those criticisms, they're completely missing the entire point of feminism. The entire point of feminism and, really gender studies is to say that we should not feel pressured to conform to, canonized ideas of gender. So, me being a submissive, it's stereotypically feminine. So that angers people because they're saying, well, if you're a feminist, then why are you doing such feminine, submissive things? But that's not the point of feminism. The point of feminism is to say that you should be able to live your life. You should be able to live out your own sexual preferences without feeling pressured to adhere to some societal standard. And, furthermore, I really resent, feminists feeling that they have any right to tell me what to do with my body.
That's what I mean. See, here's my opinion on that. I understand the question, but the type of sex you're into has nothing to do with whether or not you're powerful in your personal life. It has nothing to do with it. Let's say,
it's the bedroom and it's real life.
Absolutely.
Just because I, fantasize about being dominated and, maybe
it doesn't mean you can't be strong in your relationship.
That doesn't mean that I deserve for that to happen to me, and that doesn't mean that I want that to actually happen. It's a fantasy.
I'll tell you an example. I don't know this for sure. But here's an example, but I'm pretty sure David Geffen is probably a bottom. That's what I know. but he's one of the most powerful men who's ever lived.
Can you research that, Belle?
Yeah,
I'm saying
she'll report back.
Yeah, I'm saying David Geffen is one of the most successful people in the history of the world, and I bet in his sex life he probably I can't see him being the top. That's
awesome. I mean, sexuality is fluid. It doesn't have to make sense. There doesn't have to be a rhyme or reason behind why people like things. We like what we like, and it's beautiful. As long as it's legal, as long as it's consensual, as long as everybody's having a great time, then I think more power to you.
Yeah, I agree with you completely.
So your goal, other than getting college money, I mean that's the number one goal.
Yeah.
But what is your goal? Furthering, your concept of what the gender norms should be. But I read something that you wrote, and it was really thought-provoking. That a lot of feminists feel as though women need to conserve a part of themselves, that having sex is giving a piece of themselves, and you can't give too much of yourself, or you're not a woman any longer. What do you think you can do to promote your more, modern view of how women can conduct their own sexuality?
Right. It's the old saying of, you gave it away to him too soon, as though your sexuality
Yeah, that was
is
interesting, because I hadn't thought about that, but it is
as
what
a woman,
you're
I get
taught.
told that all the time. And I think that what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to break the double standard and say, look, women and men and all those other genders in between, we all love sex. We're human beings, and we shouldn't be told as women that we shouldn't be defined by our sexuality, and we shouldn't be demeaned by our sexuality if we choose to be sexual. And furthermore, I think what I'm really trying to do is legitimize sex work and open people's eyes to the fact that while there are women in porn who do have, bad experiences, there are a lot of women in porn and sex work who find it incredibly empowering and who love their work, and we need to listen to them.
Without question. And historically, people, men and women, who deny their sexuality and oppress it, that's not good. That's usually not good. I think that's how Hitler started, quite frankly. If you look, you should be out there. I think it's better for society, all this.
Right.
You said we're all human. You can't deny
telling
it.
kids not to masturbate. It starts from the home. Telling kids masturbation's bad. Not talking to kids about sex.
That's a bad way to go.
I think. I think it's noble. Like the concept that you're working towards is a noble concept, but at the same time, there's a division in me where I understand what you're saying,
right.
but I also have 2 young daughters where if they came to me and tried to tell me that they subscribe to the way you're looking at it, I would be up in arms. Granted, they're
Why would
little
you
girls.
feel that way?
I don't know. I think I think it's because of what I've been taught my whole life.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking people to deconstruct. Why do you feel that way?
And I understand that,
exactly.
but I still feel
my only issue would be your safety as a dad.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't judge the sex
bottom line.
part. As a matter of fact, I'd be glad you're doing it because it's better than hiding it. It's like go have fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
My only thing as a dad would be like
totally.
some scumbag in this business is going to hurt you. That you can't deny.
Totally, and that's such a legitimate concern.
Yeah, but the other part, I'd be like, have fun. I mean, it's better than suppress it. But look, John's a dad. I'm not. I understand what he's saying. We got to take a break. And Elizabeth, just talking to you for 2 minutes, I wouldn't want to debate you on any level.
Oh, yeah.
You're using words I've never heard.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.